Okay, hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining the 101 stream today. Today's topic is how to start or improve mainframe DevOps using open source on set. And we have Ilya and Valentin from IBA group on today. So if you have any questions throughout the session, please just post them in the chat box, and I think Ilya and Valentin can go through those towards the end of the session. And I also just wanted to let you know that at 11 a.m. we are observing a 2 minutes silence for Remembrance Day. With that, Ilya, I hand over to you.
Thanks, Lena. So I hope you could hear me well. Yeah, I see. And hello everyone. My name is Ilya. I'm from IB Group, and I work as a DevOps engineer, and I'm mainly engaged in the creation of automated Jenkins pipelines and creating integration of different tools and services with each other. So let's begin. First of all, I want to introduce the main base of our today's topic. It's like global repository for mainframe developers. So our company and our team develop tons of content in the mainframe DevOps area, but today we are going to talk about something new. When we work with new technologies, we have to search for something every day, search for information about something, search for examples and templates and blanks, search for something that will quickly help us and solve our daily tech problems. In the mainframe world, for a long time, the search for information was limited due to the closeness of the systems themselves and the lack of community on the network that would actively share knowledge. So that's why we came up with the idea of the global repository for mainframe developers and decided to share with you. So GRMD is an acronym, as we usually call it. It helps to solve the mainframe issues. And as we say on ourselves, we are trying to make the mainframe always at hand. So let's deeply look at what we are talking about. So with this project, you can save a lot of time, effort, and frustration when solving mainframe problems throughout some of your technical folders, notebooks, files, and sticky notes. Discover a lot of useful hard to find mainframe information in one place, learn some new modern approaches to mainframe administration, like bring real world DevOps practices to your mainframe function, contribute your knowledge to the mainframe community. So core problems in mainframe administration has been a very close, silent discipline. The downstream problems you of course know. Every company and professional dug in their own direction. So people were forbidden or afraid to publish anything they learned. And we have lacked a community that shared common problems and solutions. And to find solution to the mainframe problems, professionals have to create their own stack of folders, files, notebooks, and sticky notes, turn to colleagues for help, and hope someone knows the answer, search through tons of boring documentation to solve the problem, go through decades of forum posts to see if it's been discussed before, or build a patchwork solution from random pieces of information. So as a result, you waste a lot of time and only find fragmented answers. So we have created an open source repository for all things mainframe. So QR codes here on the slide, the bottom of the slide, provide for the future reference. We'll guide you to our GRMD repository, which I also show the next few minutes. And by using our repository, for example, you will fill the gaps in your current sources of mainframe knowledge, gain access to a single hub for tested, proven mainframe solutions, spend less time searching for solutions and more time implementing them. So to start, we were just solving our own problems. So, like for example, my desktop was covered with thousands of sticky notes with commands and scripts on them. It's truth. My colleagues were doing the same thing and just as frustrated with it. So we had developed a lot of great information, but it was all very silent. So we decided to pull all of our information into shared repository. So we want to create a hub where anyone could read, for example, ask questions, comment on information, communicate with each other, edit and improve on existing resources, and their own information to the and add their own information to the repository. So here I will show this look like. So here Google Chrome. So it's our own, like, for example, demo website. So I think we should start on our GRND project, like landing page, on which we briefly try to convey the key idea of our project, how it can be useful and what task it solves. So right there you can watch our short video available on YouTube. As saying goes, like, subscribe, press the bell. So we also thought about how to express our gratitude to those who actively participate in contributing to the repository. And decided to add the top of most active contributors. So, and it would be great to see you on this list. And also here we decided to add a part of our, like, for example, blog story with articles in which we share our ideas, thoughts, and experience in the mainframe development. So, well, let's move on the repository itself. Buttons from the website, like, tried move us to the repository itself. So here on the wiki page, we could find all our repositories. So basically, we are showing the contents of the boards of the repository through the GitHub wiki pages, but everything is the same in the classic form for the GitHub repository. You could find on the code tab here, as you can see. So you could easily just clone it by git clone command with your, for example, Git desktop version, and open all files. All files are placed in .md file format, so you could easily open them by any PDF editor or other stuff. So, or you can just download zip archive with all files, commands, scripts, and so on. So, as I mentioned, we shown contents of the repository by the wiki pages due to some sort of best user experience. Like here on the wiki pages, as you can see on the right side, we have a navigation bar where which will shown on each page which we want to show, for example, like this, and we still could navigate from any page we want. And for example, here at the bottom of this page, we have repository content with all URL links, which will provide us access to this information. So it's typically use case for the repository. We suggest bookmark the repository homepage and subscribe to updates. Also, you could clone or download the repository or fork it. For example, like here, click on this fork button. You will have just all of the sources, but at your own repository, where you could just, for example, make any just edit or add your personal private information for it. Also to improve the repository, we need any help to make it useful for everyone by adding public examples, work tips and tricks, scripts, templates. So any help is appreciated. And GitHub repository is a safe and convenient place. Your files will not disappear anywhere, and the history of commits will help you in case of any files changes or deletions. So therefore, we believe that you can, for example, fork our repository, make it private, and use it as your own local private repository for storing your private materials, just for example. So on the homepage, we have a list of topics and their contents, as I mentioned before. Here, just for example, our DevOps scripts, mainframe automation solution and best practices, SMP automation scripts, RAG commands, SPF commands, budget jobs, examples, scripts, templates, useful tricks, whatever you want. And all like open source. You could just grab them and use them. So the repository is under development. Some structures and design may change slightly because we try to listen to other people's feedback and improve user experience. If you have an idea how you can improve something, add something new, or you notice an error or typo, so we are all human, you know, you can easily open a GitHub issue, create a pull request, or create a GitHub discussion on a topic of interest. So we will be happy to answer or help with the question. So let's begin, and our use case we would like to show you today and what we are going to talk about. So let's get back to our presentation. So here, let's just imagine that you are just a junior at mainframe area. Manager just came to you one day and said, please create me DevOps from scratch on the mainframe. But you had no idea, honestly, on what to do, what DevOps actually is, and you're really junior in the mainframe area. And you are just like in crazy situation, what to do? And by this presentation and by everything we prepared for you in advance, we just try to help on all of the stuff. So on the slide, we have prepared a simplified high-level architecture diagram to make it easier and clearer what will be discussed and how everything works together. We also try to divide everything into parts of the DevOps processes. Just for example, from as well-known DevOps infinite ring, like plan stage, code, build, deploy, operate, test. And we, in our next demo showcase, which will present us by Valentin, we will show you how it looks like in real life on our in our local project. So just for example, here, all of this stuff, as you can see on the presentation, like we try to cover each DevOps process by different set of tools. Just for example, plan and monitor DevOps processes, we try to cover by Jira. All which correlates with tests and quality gate, we try to cover by open source test management system like TestLink. Also, we try to integrate a free trial version of SonarQube, which you also could try by yourself for some time. And also other steps like code, build, deploy, operate, as you can see here mentioned on the mainframe side, with help of ZOS Git and Ziggy Git ISPF interface, which will present Valentin in the next demo. So, and also I want to share, for example, here on our repository itself, here in the section of mainframe automated solution and best practices, you could find mainframe DevOps tutorial, how we bring DevOps and automation to the mainframe. So in this topic, we covered all this as architecture, as I mentioned before, like all stages, code, build deployment, release, test, deploy, operate, plan and monitor. And just for example, here, click on plan and monitor. You could easily find all necessary information about Jira integration with Jenkins, how it looks like, how it could be done, and all useful links, tips, tricks, scripts. So all could be found here. So just for example, how to add comments to Jira ticket, just click on it and open the page with information, how we use it. And so the script itself, add comment to Jira such. So here we have a script which with help of CURL will add comments to Jira ticket, which also would be shown in our next demo video. And just for example, here we also mentioned about Jira integration, like using Jira plugin, Jira pipeline steps, Jira test results report plugin, all placed here, all necessary links. So, and here we placed our advices how to integrate, which issues you probably will face during this way of integration. So all placed here in our articles. So back to table, and here all other stuff from this schema of simple mainframe open source DevOps. So I think that's all I want to share with you about mainframe architecture. So the next step, we will present you our demo showcase, which will share Valentin just for now. So I think, Valentin, could you please share your screen?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Valentin, also from IBA Group. I'm DevOps engineer, and also I do kind of CEO's administrative work. So for now, I want to share our demo video. Because of some possible connection issues or something else, we decided to pre-record our demo part, so we are absolutely sure what's going on. But even so, there will be a little bug, a little issue that we faced with, and we recovered it right during the recording and decided to leave it here just to show that anything can happen. So in the demo video, we will show you how each stage of DevOps looks like, how it works, how it flows, how different tools interact with each other, and so on. And of course, after this and during this, you can ask any questions in the chat. So welcome, I am starting this video. All right, so I want to tell to you about a code stage of DevOps lifecycle first of all. And the main DevOps feature for code stage is ability to have code version control system. The most popular is Git, of course. It is free and open source. Also, Ziggy is a freeware ISPF front-end tool to Xeo's Git client. It's written in Rex, provides user-friendly ISPF interface, and transparent usage of native Xeo's file system for handling local repository. So here you can see the screen already installed, prepared, configured, and connected Ziggy, as you can see, to remote repository. You can find information about installation, configuration, etc. Also in our article about DevOps, as was mentioned before, here about Ziggy, you can find all information. So let's look at an example. So let's imagine you have a new issue in your Jira board. You got a new task. You should do some developing new features, etc. Requirements number 1, number 2, number 3. So then you will go to your source code of your application here, just a sample application, and want to change it. Ziggy provides any managing of your data sets in your local repository. So for example, we go to PLI / edit. Okay, there are 2 data sets, edit, I'm sorry, them as well. Maybe here you will add some functionality. Okay, yeah, now you can see status is modified. Going back to our branch. First of all, you should add this, change the data set to the Git index. Here, add option. It will take a few seconds, making it ready to commit. Right. Okay. Okay, now it's ready to commit. Then we will go to local repo menu and commit changes. So there is one special rule for commit element is you should put your issue number from Jira in commit title first of all. So in this example, it's DVASS 291. So we will put here DVSS 291, and then just some title name, as you wish. Also, you can add some description if you want. As you press F3, it will make commit. Right, so commit processing started. So now we will go to our Jenkins pipeline. And as commit started, it should trigger our pipeline this way. Okay, now we can see something has started. Okay, our pipeline has started. I want to say a few words about particularly this pipeline. We prepared for you a special article about this pipeline in our repository, Jenkins mainframe pipeline code example. There you can find description about how its pipeline works, what about all stages, check code, build, Docker build, unit tests, etc. And also we provide to you the source code of this pipeline. So you can copy it, try on your project. Of course, it is just a start version for you. So when you get more experience in this sphere, you will know how it works. You can, of course, change, especially for your project. So now the build stage is almost done. So using, oh, I'm sorry, fell with some one GCL builder part is all, but it's okay. Let me to describe you previous stages. Okay, I want to tell you about build stages. All right, so the main DevOps feature for build stage is ability to transfer some data sets to mainframe and also remote execution of GCL files. In this particular example, one GCL execution has failed, but maybe we will show you example on successful one. So here you can see at the build stage, I'm opening the logs of this stage. You can see we use shell script to transfer dataset to our mainframe, and also shell script for running GCL jobs. These shell scripts you can also find in our repository. So here the shell script for dataset transferring from Unix to the mainframe via FTP, for example. It's open, you can try on your machines, and also shell script for running GCL jobs on the mainframe via FTP. So here's example. It's very easy to use, and it is all open source. So that's what I wanted to tell about DevOps code and build stages. And now Ilya will tell you about the next stages. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Valentin. And sorry, could you please restart with a new commit our pipeline? During I will talk a little bit about testing and other stages. Okay, thank you. So I'm start screen sharing. I hope you could see my screen now. Talking about testing. So in our case, here we go in the test stage in our article. So in our case, we decided to use only open source tools that are available for everyone, have open source code and ability to customize with extensive REST API. So for our goals perfectly fits the testing and also test trial with its own free trial for, as I remember, a few weeks. So for our case, we decided to choose a testing. So as a result, we have a ready test management system where testers in your team write test cases, test plans, automated tests, the description, preconditions, and so on in one place. So I think it's the better way than just write tests like in Microsoft Excel in tables and so on. So for our purposes for starting, I think it's a great feature. So from our article, you could easily find all necessary links to testing sources, test link Jenkins plugin, and how to easily connect your test link with your Jenkins pipeline and connect your test cases with related automated tests, which are also stored in our Git repository here.
Valentin, can you stop the
Yes,
video?
of course.
Because we will now at 11 observe the 2-minute silence for Remembrance Day.
Okay, we will continue after. Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Valentin, feel free to share your screen again.
Okay, thank you. Let's continue from the test stage. All right.
Also, just from our article is easily find all necessary links to test link sources, test link Jenkins plugin, and how to easily connect your test link with your Jenkins pipeline and connect your test cases with related automated tests, which are also stored in our Git repository here. It's simple Java tests, which should be run during our pipeline execution. And here, as you can see, we pre-installed our test link on Ubuntu server. For such purposes, we also have a separate Jenkins job, such as testing unit tests, which handle all our automated ZeroS tests. So here you could also see test results trend, some graphs, how much passed tests and failed. So, and also in testing for previous test execution, you can easily find like this, which test and where was run and which are passed or not. So, and also here in test specification, you can find your necessary test suite with all test cases. And also here, for example, you can find whole execution history. Looks like this. So from here, you can find all your previous test runs with related test results. Just for example, this one test result XML, where testers could find all the necessary information, which tests are passed, on which environment they were run, and all required information about system, software versions, and so on and so on. Talking about a little bit about SonarQube and the quality gate. Unfortunately, for this demo, we cannot show its integration and its real launch due to the expired our trial version, but we decided not to remove it from our article. So here we have described the options for install it with all necessary useful links. So you could easily try it by yourself, start a free trial version and install in your Ubuntu server or other environment and connect it with your Jenkins via SonarQube pre-installed plugin and of course pre-configured. And get back to our article. For the next stage, I will talk a little bit about release and operate stage. So for these purposes, we also use some shell scripts. The most useful for us is one of them. It's like shell script for transferring change sources in Git to the mainframe via FTP. So it's easily to find here with all source code and all description. And of course, as an alternative for this functionality, you could use IBM ZS Connector plugin. Here also we share some thoughts and our experience, how we installed it in our environment, how we configure it, and of course, we easily use it from and try it from our article and use it as alternatives for our previous shell scripts. But in our case, we use shell scripts during that they are more suitable and you could use it in many places and run them on any environment. So it's cross-platform. And also here for our article and for And I want to share also with monitor stage. Here, as you can see, we put some information about Jira and its integration with Jenkins via different kind of Jira plugins and so on. Okay, thank you, Valentin. Now pipeline is starting to work correct. As you can see, all first stages are green now. And of course, here I want to update unit tests. Yes, as you can see, and build 236, I see that my unit tests are passed successfully. And of course, in testing, I could find it in test execution. So here we go. Yes, they run successfully just before. Also talking about Jira. So here I could show. Sorry, forget one thing. And also our pipeline have a feature when some tests failed. Our Jira plugin create new bug issue in Jira. So here is an example how it looks like. So for testers, it's a great kind of automation. So here you can find description of which what was going wrong and how to deal with it. So here, as you could see before, our new feature development task, DVASS 291. So I refresh it. And here I could see that some comments started in our issue. Jenkins pipeline is started. This build stage failed. And sorry.
You can see the new issue.
New. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's one.
Yeah, actual one. Sorry. So here's the actual one issue for this development task. So here, as you can see, the status of this issue was changed to in progress. And here you can find, for example, all test results, all comments. So here like that, function test completed successfully, FIPTF completed successfully, and so on. And for example, unit tests also look like this. So of course, testers could find all the necessary information from there. I want to share with you our thoughts about migration of our DevOps solution to another tool set, such as Azure DevOps. So we try to adapt our Jenkins pipeline code in a new Rails. For example, for Azure DevOps with its own YAML syntax for YAML pipelines. So the main reason was like use only local tool set which provided by Azure DevOps. So for example, it's like alternatives for Jira with Azure DevOps boards. As alternative for Jenkins, it's like Azure DevOps pipelines, where you can see this code. So the code was migrated without any hard refactoring or something like this. So it's the main architecture and the main logic so never changed. It's working as before, like you can see in our Jenkins pipeline. And so also here you can see that our demo pipeline completed successfully. And for example, our Jira task, refresh. And also here we find that status started in done, and some more reports are attached in our issue. So, and of course, you can find that accept PTF completed successfully, all comments, and here the last one, that the poll stage completed successfully, pipeline finished successfully. And returning to our Azure DevOps. So, and here, as you can see, for example, our previous run of this pipeline. For example, it's working as before, with the same steps, with the same logic, with the same functionality, but in another way, in another environment, with another toolset. So here it is, the same job output log before in Jenkins. So I think it's great. I think it's great that our pipeline have such ability like cross-platform, I think, and of course. And in conclusion, I would like to add that this example of DevOps workflow, like in Jira, like Jenkins or other DevOps, may not be perfect, but it will allow you some mainframers to better or clearly understand how DevOps processes might be look like, what tools exist currently, and how the processes proceed. So we also continue working on its development and improvement, listen to all opinions, comments and remarks. So if you want to add something or share with us some thoughts, please be welcome. And I think this example will serve as a good basis for further development and improvements. So, and I think that's all I wanted to share with you.
Okay, I think and I hope you find this demonstration useful and interesting. And I would like to give a word to Ilya to continue.
Okay, thanks, Valentin. So I start screen sharing again, and here we go. So we hope that our repository, as you mentioned before, will be really useful to you, including our experience and our approaches, which we developed before, and which all was combined, tested, and placed in one place with useful comments and README, how to use it, how run, how it looks like, how it should be. And so I think you can take our approach to building a DevOps as a basis, use it in full, or just use like separate parts. For example, maybe you use different tool set or different orchestrator tool. For example, just not Jira, but IBM Urban Code Deploy, or as mentioned before, Azure DevOps. So you could just grab some useful scripts like for files transferring from the Linux side to the mainframe, or other stuff like separate models, and use them and integrate in your current processes, in your current pipelines, or whatever you want. So and also you could freely adapt them for yourself and use them in your own way. So, or if you have your own vision of how everything should look like, you could safely change all the components in your fork and propose your changes. So, as I mentioned before, you just click here, like fork, and you made a copy of all sources, all files which placed here in your own local repository, and also you could freely download it on your own desktop computer and just like collect all files there and edit them on your desktop. So therefore, we will be glad to see you as a contributor, as I mentioned here on this last slide. So looking forward to see you as a contributor to our GRMD project. I'm sorry, slide. I'm not from beginning. Okay, slide. But I still. Oh, okay. Sorry. So there we'll be glad to see you as a contributor, and you can make any changes or comments. So we will be glad to everyone. And talking about, we do believe that we learn from people more than from books, from tons of great IBM documentation, really. And it's open, it's mainframe, and it's the GRMD project. So I think that's all we want to share with you on this session. And if you have any questions, please ask them. So I think we're done.
Okay, thank you very much, Ilya and Valentin. Very interesting. Yeah, so if you have questions, please put them in the chat now. And also, please remember to give your feedback. So I think we all really appreciate feedback. So if you have any, please feel free to submit that. Okay, so far I don't see any questions in the chat. But if any questions come up, yeah, I'm sure you can also reach out to Ilya and Valentin after the session. Okay, then if there are no further questions, I will go ahead and close the session now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your attention. See you.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.